Friday, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to yet another live edition. Today, September 6th, 2013. September 6th, 2013. Thanks for logging in. Thanks for finding your way to this radio show. Please visit the website of the same name. That's fireyourmdnow.com. Fireyourmdnow.com. Become a Dr. Glidden Insider. Click on the online health subscription service button, or quite frankly, just scroll down to the bottom of the first page. It's all right there in living color. You don't know what you don't know, and when it comes to your health, the stuff you didn't know is going to kill you or heal you. Join our team of open-minded, smart, intelligent people who are completely frustrated, and rightly so, with the delivery of medical treatments for chronic disease by the pharmaceutical industry, the American Medical Association, and the MDs all around the world, and who are aligning themselves with science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery. You're going to love how you feel, honestly. And if you listen to this show long enough, you're going to hear testimonials that will make your jaw drop, honestly. Breaking news, chronic illnesses outpace infections as the big killers worldwide. Chronic illnesses outpace infections as the big killers worldwide. Reading a study from the Bureau of Public Health. I pulled this off the internet yesterday. For instance, a child born in the era, it quotes, I say, quote, for instance, a child born in El Salvador today is expected to live 40 years longer than a child born there in 1970. A woman in Bangladesh is much less likely to die in labor than she would have 2 decades ago. The leading cause of death and disability have changed from communicable diseases in children to non-communicable diseases in adults. Eating too much has overtaken hunger as a leading risk factor for illnesses, the report states. Now, this is interesting. Eating too much has overtaken hunger as a leading risk factor for illness. The pattern of illness is changing rapidly, much faster than many expected, says Tim Evans, a health and nutrition specialist at the World Bank. 20 or 30 years ago, we were dealing with diseases that were killers, childhood killers, infectious killers. Now we are dealing increasingly with diseases that are not primarily killing but causing chronic illnesses, heart disease, injuries, mental health, blood sugar issues, high blood pressure, et cetera, et cetera. Now, their basic assumption in this article, and remember, the MDs are like colorblind art critics. I say that all the time. The basic assumption in this article is that the reason that chronic disease has outpaced infectious disease is because people are living longer, and there's better sanitation and better public health. And because of, better sanitation and better public health and better, perhaps, economies worldwide, there's more food available to people now, and so they're eating way too much instead of eating not enough. And because they're living longer, they're suffering from more chronic diseases. Well, the two things to consider here are the reason that they're eating more isn't because there's more food. Well, there is more food, but the reason that people are driven to eat more than they should for their health is because they're minerally deficient. The body knows how to regulate its appetite. Your appetite is a God-given homeostatic mechanism in the human body. Your appetite has intelligence the same way the rest of your body does. When your body is nutritionally replete, your appetite goes away. When your body is nutritionally starved, your appetite is constant. Because your body knows that if you don't get more calcium, your heart's going to break. It knows that unless you get more sulfur-bearing molecules, your bones are going to break, literally. It knows this, so it forces you to eat in the desperate attempt to fill the nutritional tank, but the food that you're eating, thank you, Monsanto, doesn't have the stuff in it that your body needs, and so you accelerate the genesis of chronic disease. Now, they also say that, well, more chronic disease is happening because people are living longer, which begs the question, well, why can't MDs fix chronic disease? We've become used to medical mediocrity. We just think that asthma is just a part of life, and I might as well just wrap my head around it and get used to it and accept my lot in life. You're going to get asthma. You're going to get heart disease. You're going to get high blood pressure. You're going to get heart disease. It just comes along for the ride. It's part and parcel of the human experience. No, it's not. It's part and parcel of living in a body that's undernutrified. It's part and parcel of living in a body that consumes all of the wrong stuff all of the time. It's part and parcel of medical treatment, which never gets to the root cause of the disease, but always manages symptoms instead with arrogant, man-made synthetic drugs, the intention of which is not to fix the damn thing, but to control and regulate the processes of the human body. Pharmaceutical prescription medicines are like communism. Let me say that again. The pharmaceutical prescription medicines are like communism. The intention of a communist regime is to overpower and control every aspect of the society. The state controls everything because the belief is that people are too stupid to take care of themselves and that they need Big Brother to take care of everything for them. Well, that's what your MD believes. Your body is too stupid to fix itself. And once it's developed a chronic illness, your only option is to let the MD throw into your body a man-made synthetic drug, the intention of which is to overpower and control the inherent workings of the body. It's like a hostile takeover of the human body, a hostile takeover of the human body. That's what pharmaceutical drugs are. Now, remember, a place for everything and to everything a season. Right? Thank God for morphine. Thank God for the sterile technique. Thank God for Novocaine and anesthetics. In some instances, prescription medicines, man-made synthetic drugs are awesome. But when you deliver a man-made synthetic drug into a holistic system, in order to manage a chronic disease, guess what happens? Well, you manage the chronic disease and nothing gets fixed. And because of their colorblind, old-fashioned, reductionistic methodology that they're never going to give up. An MD will never, ever, ever give up their reductionistic methodology. It is anathema to them. They cannot do it. And so because, see, they don't even think that it's a methodology. They don't think that there's another way to think it. Oh, I'm going to choose the reductionistic way. They just think that the reductionistic way is the only way. They don't even call it reductionism. They just think it's modern science. And that's the long and the short of it. They haven't thought it through. Because, again, they're intellectual cowards. They are. Anybody that's prejudiced is an intellectual coward. I mean, Mark Twain said it best, one of the best cures for prejudice is travel. It's true. But I digress. The point to ponder here is that the reason that chronic disease is outstripping infectious disease now as the #1 killer worldwide is because the people delivering medical care, it's not health care, remember, it's medical care. The people delivering medical care are clueless about how to keep you healthy. They're clueless about how to keep you healthy. They think that your asthma is genetic. They think that all of your chronic diseases are genetic. They don't really think that. They were told that, and they just repeat the party line. Again, they haven't thought it through. They haven't really sat down and tried to figure out from a Mendelian genetic point of view, if it really was genetic, then why is there more and more and more of it, not less and less and less of it? Because aren't the weak people from the herd supposed to be weeded out? Oh, and so then they change their tune. They say, well, it's not genetic, it's epigenetic. Epigenetic. That means there are unseen environmental stressors that we postulate are manipulating the gene code, we think. Well, they're wrong. Because the founder of Youngevity, my colleague, mentor, and friend, Dr. Joel Wallach, was in charge of $25 million of federally funded research from 1970 to 1982. The intention of which was to discover once and for all the net negative cumulative effects that environmental toxicity had on the health of human beings. And they discovered there was none. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. The only time that environmental toxicity poses a real threat to your health is when you're working in a coal mine and you're exposed to massive amounts of nasty stuff all the time. When you're working in the asbestos plant. When you're working at Fukushima without your radiation suit. When you're living downwind of Chernobyl. That's when it's a problem. When there's a massive exposure. When you live next to Minamata Bay. That's when it's a problem. But the stuff that we're exposed to on a day-to-day basis doesn't hurt us. Has a negligible effect on our health. Negligible effect. But what does have a massive effect on our health is lack of nutrients, specifically minerals. Minerals are 66% of your nutrient needs. Minerals are 66% of your nutrient needs, which is why Dr. Wallach's plant-derived minerals, $20 a bottle, is perhaps the best investment, the best introductory investment you can make in your health. Because if you purchase one bottle of the plant-derived minerals or the Cherry Mints, which is the plant-derived minerals with cherry flavor added to it, and you take 1 ounce twice a day for 2 weeks, you will notice a change. You have to notice a change because your body is demineralized now. You've gotten used to running on mineral fumes. And now for the first time in your life, your body's going to be mineralized. You don't think you're going to notice something? You're going to. So this is a really good kind of introductory supplement to take for those of you who are skeptical about taking nutritional supplements. Don't know why you would be. Quite frankly, you should be a million times more skeptical about taking the prescription med, but we're not, because we've been dumbed down. We've been dumbed down by fluoride in the water and in the toothpaste for the last 40 years. Dumbed down. Fluoride decreases your IQ. Did you know that? That's been documented about 8 times. World Health Organization agrees. Fluoride decreases your IQ. It's that simple. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. In order to experience a change and to get a sense of the stuff that you're missing, the stuff that you didn't know, go to fireyourmdnow.com, click on the longevity button, and buy 1 bottle of the Cherry Mints. 1 bottle of the Cherry Mints. Tastes great. Take 1 ounce twice a day, and then call me on the radio show and tell me what happened. And if nothing happened, I'll eat my hat. I love my hat. 866-582, that's the number to call. Talk to me live. When we come back from the break, we're going straight to Texas to talk to Randy. Stick around. Hope you're all having a wonderful Friday. Friday's always great. But, you know, if you have a longevity business, the weekends become irrelevant because you can work 2, 3, 4 hours a day. You don't have to work weekends. I mean, your whole week becomes a weekend because you're not punching the clock. You're working how much or how little you want, and, of course, your income is going to go up or down based on how much you work. But once you've been doing it for 2, 3, 4 years, there's a lot of residual inertia there. There's a lot of residual energy, which is going to maintain itself for a long time. Once you get off of the corporate dole and you finally get it together that you can actually make a big difference in your financial world with a home-based business, especially a longevity home-based business, then in a couple of years everything changes. Weekends become irrelevant. You actually are having fun with your life. You're having fun with your job. You have money to burn. And I got to tell you something, folks. Guess what? It beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. We're going to go to Texas right now. Or actually, I think the Texas call dropped. I'm sorry about that. We're going to go to Idaho and talk to Dalton. What's up, Dalton? Thanks for calling. You are live.
How you doing?
Pretty good, Dalton. I guess what's up is your blood pressure, huh?
Yes, it is. I went to the doctor yesterday. And I've been on young for 2 months now. And I took and I just started the Ultimate Daily. I think it's been about 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
But anyway, when I went to the doctor yesterday, he said, you know, we've been tried you on all these medicines. And he said, it's not working. He said, well, I think we need to check your kidney. It could be clogged. I said, no kidding, Dick Tracy. I said, I've been listening to Dr. Glidden. And so he wants to send me to a kidney doctor because he wants to get an x-ray of my kidneys to see if it's stopped up. And if so, then they come talking about flushing it. I said, I don't think so. I'm going to talk to Dr. Glidden. So I want to know what. Go ahead.
Well, Dalton, man, you're the smartest man in class, and this underlines a couple things, right? I mean, you, and I'm assuming, have you had any medical training in your life? I mean, are you a nurse or a doctor or anything like that?
only just by listening to your show.
Well, see, this is what, right. This is what I mean, right? So, you don't have any medical training, and yet you know more than your medical doctor did about what's going on here. And this underlines two things. Number one, healing is easy, and number two, the MDs, there's so much in the dark about this. I mean, the education of the MD is so outdated and old-fashioned and archaic. It's scary. I mean, you should be very scared, ladies and gentlemen, if you bring your body, even for diagnostics discovery, to someone with an MD after their name. No kidding. So, what we do here, right, it's just kind of a logical thought process, right? Well, let's say I had a leak somewhere in my basement, right? Well, you don't know where the heck the leak is, so you start over in this corner and you peel back the carpet and you take the wallboard off and you look, oh, it's not there, and so then you move to the othermost, logical place, and then another most logical place till you find it. Well, it's the same thing with medicine. It's, we start here. The most common cause of high blood pressure is not enough calcium. And so if we're taking adequate amounts of calcium and the blood pressure still is a problem, well, then the only other thing is, well, you were abducted by aliens and you have an alien implant that's causing your blood pressure to be high, or your kidney's funky, right? I mean, it's one or the other. So what I would recommend you do, the first thing I want to ask you, though, Dalton, is have you gone gluten-free? Have you stopped eating the 10 bad foods yet? Since
I've been on longevity for the 2 months, I'm cutting out gluten and everything, so I've been probably gluten-free for about 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks or 2 months?
2 weeks, but I've been on the longevity for 2 months.
Okay, great.
So
and how much? Good job, man. I'm proud of you. What about the liquid calcium? How much of that are you taking every day?
I've been taking it what was called for, and I just ran that, but I got another shipment came in today. I'm starting that back, and then I just ordered another load of calcium because I want to double that up.
What's your body weight?
I'm 235.
Okay, so we're coming up against a hard break, Dalton. Stick with me through the break. I'll dial this in very specifically for you when we come back. We're going to do this in steps, right? You don't need to go get your kidneys flushed, for goodness sake. Now, you stick with me, brother. I will help you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Why don't you get as smart as Dalton did and sign up for my online health subscription service? We're going to be back after these messages. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you. We are talking to Dalton from Idaho. Hey, Dalton, are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm from Indianapolis. They got that wrong.
Oh, sorry, Indianapolis. Well, that's better. That's closer to Chicago.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the deal. As an experiment, do you have a home blood pressure cuff?
Yes, I just got another one yesterday.
All right, good man. So sometime between now and Monday, I want you to take a trip down to the local firehouse and find an EMT when they're not working. They're not out on a call. They're just hanging around the firehouse playing poker or whatever. Ask them to check your blood pressure with their equipment and with your equipment. And compare the two and see if your equipment's accurate, because we need to know if your equipment's accurate, okay?
Okay.
Now, if it is accurate, then I want you to be taking your blood pressure twice a day. And I don't care when you take it, but take it at the same time every day, twice a day, and write the numbers down, all right?
All right.
Now, once you start doing that, for 2 days, you've got your baseline blood pressure numbers. You got 4 readings of your blood pressure.
Okay.
On day 3, for day 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? For 5 more days, 5 days in a row, I want you to take 1 ounce of the white liquid calcium 4 times a day. 1 ounce of the white liquid calcium 4 times a day is a little 5-day experiment. And mix it in with a little orange juice each time, right? Is your stomach okay with orange juice? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, so 1 ounce and maybe 2-3 ounces of orange juice 4 times a day. Just throw that stuff down and look to see what happens to your blood pressure. All right?
Okay.
Now, I want the second blood pressure reading done after the fourth dose. And I don't care if it's 30 minutes after or 3 hours after, but I want you to do the second blood pressure reading after you've had all 4 ounces in your body. Okay?
Okay.
And then you look to see if the blood pressure numbers come down on those 5 days.
Okay.
Now, if they do, then the problem ain't your kidney. It's not enough calcium in your body.
Okay.
And see, the problem with this is, even if you're taking enough calcium appropriate for your body weight, remember, that's just a maintenance dose, right?
Right.
But we've got to take more than that if we're actually trying to fix something that we know or believe is associated with a lack of calcium. We've got to fill the tank up. And in addition to that, if you or me or anybody else is taking a nutritional supplement and we're still eating gluten, then chances are, it's not 100%, but chances are high that your body is not going to be absorbing everything that you're taking, and so we're going to kind of be spitting into the wind, right?
Right.
So I'm glad that you've seen the light and gone gluten-free. That's a gigantic step in the right direction. It's a gigantic step in the right direction. I mean, buy yourself a new suit or a new tie or something, Dalton, and celebrate. I'm telling you, man, you got to reward yourself for making the correct decisions in life, right? This is a big deal. I'm telling you, it's a big deal. Trust me, man.
Yeah.
And so now that you're gluten-free, it may just be that you need to do a little more calcium before we get all horrified about the kidneys, right?
Okay.
Now, if after day 7 there ain't no change in the blood pressure, or it's just come down a little bit, then we're going to assume, just like when we're looking for mold, that it's the kidney, and you don't want to flush it. You want to massage it, so to speak. You don't want to do anything radical with prescription medication, synthetic drugs. You don't want to do that.
Okay.
So the secret sauce to support and promote the structure and function of the kidney in this regard would be the Ultimate Daily Capsules.
Okay.
And it would be a minimum of 6. Well, I would do, at your weight, I would do 9 a day.
9 a day. I started that today.
Okay. Now, there's no harm and no foul. I mean, I take Ultimate Daily Capsules preventively. Dr. Wallach takes Ultimate Daily Capsules preventively. It's not like, I mean, if it fits the budget and you're okay with it monetarily, then get some and take it every day. It's a really great idea. And also remember, right, from our point of view, the operative cause here is clogged blood vessels in the kidney. Well, what makes blood vessels clog in the kidney? Inflammation. What causes inflammation? Eating all the wrong foods all the time and not having enough antioxidants to put those fires out. So, additionally, you should eliminate fried food and oil in a bottle and the rest of the 10 bad foods moving forward. And good man. And dial in, lastly, between 50 and 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day, between 50 and 100,000 ORAC of antioxidant. Now, this, of course, assuming you're taking enough selenium, right? And I'm just assuming you're doing that.
I'm doing 6 of selenium a day.
All right, 12 would be best if it's in the budget, but really the Ultimate Daily is of maximum importance here for you. The Ultimate Daily is of maximum importance here for you, and that's really what we want to focus on and stick with, all right?
Okay.
All right, Dalton.
Good.
Try that on for size, brother. Call me back in a couple of weeks for the report, and just remember, you go to bed feeling proud tonight because you knew more than your medical doctor did, and that's just, that's awesome. I'm really proud of
what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
I told him, I said, well, I've been on this with the longevity program for about 2 months, and I said, I noticed my kidneys working a little better. I'm going to the bathroom more. He said, you know what? I've been studying longevity. I've been hearing about it, been reading about it. He said, that's good. Stay with it.
Oh, my God. What? Has the earth shifted on its axis? What's going on here? Well, hallelujah and pass the hat, Dalton. You got to love it. I guess, every once in a while it works. I appreciate you, man. Keep up the good work and stay in touch. All right, folks, it looks like we have more time than I thought we had. We're going to go to Kelly in Ohio next, calling with a question about formaldehyde exposure. Hey, Kelly, thanks for calling.
Hi there.
Are live.
Thank you, Dr. Glidden, and how are you today?
Fabulous. What's happening?
Well, I heard you say earlier that environmental elements won't hurt us. And so my question to you, are there any side effects for exposure to formaldehyde?
Well, yes. Now, I didn't say that environmental toxicity wouldn't hurt us. I said that it takes a large dose to hurt somebody. Okay? It takes a large dose. Now look, if you're living in a brand new house and the walls of the house are made from press board, not plywood, but press board, the press board is glued together with formaldehyde. If there's brand new carpets in your house and you've got, 2,000 square feet of carpets in your house or more, it's going to be off-gassing formaldehyde at record amounts.
Well,
so,
let me ask you this. Okay.
There are situations in normal life where, yes, in fact, you can be exposed to too much crap. It's not.
Okay.
It's the exception, not the rule, but it can happen.
So it's a matter of being exposed to it daily opposed to just once in a very strong dose. And let me just share with you what happened.
Yeah.
I was a courier for an animal hospital, and some of the specimens spilled in my car. When they spilled, my eyes started burning. I had a cut on my hand, which burned, and there was a tightness in my chest. Now, today, my eyes are swollen and itchy, and my chest is still tight. So I'm just wondering...
Well, how long ago was the exposure?
It was probably 30 days ago.
Well, all right, so I'm going to assume that you're in the weeds from it still. And this is the thing, right? I mean, you can break a bone in a half a second, but it's going to take 3 months for the bone to heal, right?
Right.
I mean, you can burn your hand in 2 seconds, and it's going to take 2 weeks for the burn to heal, right? So your body takes a long time to heal itself, and honestly, the less nutrition you have in your body, and if you're still eating food that's not just right for the body, you're going to really slow down your recovery time. I don't care what it is, whether it's a sunburn, a mosquito bite, formaldehyde exposure, or whatever, you're going to really slow down. Now, this is way too long of a time. You should not still be dealing with this. So, where there's smoke, there's fire, and it's reasonable to assume that the operative cause here was, in fact, the formaldehyde exposure, whatever that crap was that was in the sample, because these things started immediately after that, right?
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, so then it's reasonable to assume that that's what caused it, but really the biggest thing to focus on is, well, I'm still dealing with symptoms, and that means that your body just doesn't have the stuff it needs to fix itself, right?
Okay.
So what's your current body weight?
My current body weight is 207.
All right, so for 30 days, for 4 weeks, here's what I would do. I would do 2 anti-aging healthy start packs.
Okay.
And 4 bottles of selenium.
4 bottles of selenium, okay.
Yeah. Now, if that's outside the budget, do 1 anti-aging healthy start pack and 4 bottles of selenium.
Okay.
Okay. And you must eliminate the 10 bad foods. You have to do that. I have to do that. Everybody and their brother has to do that. And just by eliminating the 10 bad foods, Kelly, within 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, you're going to feel a noticeable positive change because, you've gotten used to eating all the wrong stuff all the time and having a substandard experience of your body's health. And it's not just you. It's everybody. I mean, we're all eating the wrong stuff all the time, and we're getting used to, being sick all the time. I mean, just go to Kmart on the weekend and look around. It's like, holy crap, everybody in here is sick.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I would do. Clean up your diet, eliminate the 10 bad foods, do the anti-aging healthy start pack and selenium, and I would anticipate within 7 days of doing that there should be a noticeable turnaround here.
Great. I appreciate you, Dr. Glidden.
Kelly, well, I go right back at you, girl. I appreciate you because, we're all in this together. Appreciate the phone call.
Yes,
Have a great weekend. All right, now we're going to Florida to talk to Dawn about Down syndrome. Hey, Dawn, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I just got started with longevity. My daughter is 2 years old, and she has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
So from listening to Dr. Wallach's material, he said that's the result of a mineral deficiency. So I guess my question to you is, I can't imagine that this is reversible because it's an extra chromosome.
Yeah, Down syndrome is not reversible. It's baked into the cake. But I will tell you a story. There's a couple of kids that Dr. Wallach's been treating for about 17 years.
Okay.
Well, hasn't been treating them. There's a couple of Down syndrome kids in longevity that have been taking longevity for a long time. I mean, since they were 2, 3, 4 years old.
Okay.
And they're able to have jobs and get married. And have, like, semi-normal lives that you would not expect a Down syndrome person to have. Why? Because the body bounces back to the degree that it's able to bounce back, and nobody knows where that is.
Right.
Whether the child has Down syndrome or not, they need the 90 essential nutrients and not to eat the 10. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, you're a steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. We're talking to Dawn from Florida about her child with Down syndrome, and I think there was one other question, Dawn. Welcome back. How can I help?
Yeah, just one quick question. She was also born with cataracts, and she had to have cataract surgery on one of her eyes, and she has a small cataract on her other eye. So what's the best thing for her regarding that?
Well, cataracts are interesting. I've never seen it, but I've heard people tell me that they were able to reverse a cataract. I've never seen it. I've had people tell me that it's possible.
Okay.
A cataract, it's like, if you're frying up an egg in a fry pan, cooking an egg in a fry pan, and you crack the egg and dump it into the pan, when it's first in there, the white of the egg is clear. You can see right through it.
Right.
You could read a newspaper through it, right? But as the egg cooks, the white of the egg gets white. It goes from clear to white, and it becomes opaque, and you can't see it through it anymore, right?
Right.
Well, the same thing happens to the lens of your eye. When the lens of your eye becomes damaged with oxidative damage, then it becomes cloudy, and you can't see through it anymore, and that's the cataract. So then it needs to be taken out and replaced with a man-made thing.
Right.
Now, ostensibly, it's possible to reverse that because there are people that I trust that have told me that they've done that, but I have no idea how they've done it. Okay. So from our point of view, the causative factor of cataracts is oxidative damage, oxidative stress to in this case, the lens of the eye.
Okay.
So, I would reference the webinar that I did on antioxidants and inflammation because this is one of the legs of optimal health in the human body, right? The first leg is eliminate the 10 bad foods.
Right.
The second leg is nutrify the body with the 90 essential nutrients every day and selenium. The third leg is give your body antioxidants, lots of antioxidants every day.
Okay.
Antioxidants are measured by something called an ORAC score, O-R-A-C. And the longest-lived people around the world, indigenous people living in the middle of nowhere, who live to be over 100 years with health, their antioxidant intake every day is a minimum of 20,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. In the U.S., we get something like 1,000 or 1,500. They're way ahead of us. So one of our ideas for optimizing longevity and, health every week and every day and every month and every year is antioxidants in excess of 20,000 ORAC points a day.
Okay.
Now, with longevity supplements, you're going to get some ORAC antioxidant points. You're going to get some ORAC antioxidant points when you're taking the 90 essential nutrients. Okay. So you just have to calculate how many that is, see how many you need to reach the 20,000 point, and then you can either secure that with extra supplements. I mean, that's easy. Triple Treat chocolate, by the way, Longevity has a chocolate product. It's chocolate.
Uh-huh.
It has 17,000 ORAC points in one piece of chocolate.
Wow.
It's remarkable, right? But notwithstanding that, by adding things like cinnamon or curry powder or walnuts or dark-skinned fruits into your diet, and if you're an adult switching from white wine to red wine, you'll get more antioxidant points. So you can just do a little homework on the food value of, ORAC antioxidant points and try to lean more in favor of the foods that are higher in antioxidants. But selenium specifically is very important here because selenium increases the availability of your body's own natural antioxidant called glutathione.
Okay.
And this is an interesting little anecdote. Don't know if it means anything, but I think that it does. In the animal kingdom, the animals with the best vision, the most acute vision, like the sharpest eyes, have the most amount of selenium in their blood than way more than any other animal do. So we believe that selenium has some type of an intimate relationship with the health of the eye. So the recommendation here would be 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, in addition to the appropriate Healthy Start Pack. And the anti-aging Healthy Start Pack has more antioxidants in it than any of the others. So clean up the diet, take some selenium, take the anti-aging Healthy Start Pack, and go for the gold with ORAC, and, that's as good as it's going to get, I think. Thanks for the question. That makes you the smartest girl in Florida today. Coming up in the second hour, ladies and gentlemen, more of Fire Your MD Now, back at 6 after the hour. Stick around.